Hello, Paca people. It is Tiger King cosplay enthusiast and head of Sandbox at Alpacadabraz, Phil. Here to show you VoxEdit, an overview of what you can do with the assets you've just downloaded from the website, how to optimize those and get them ready to update now that they've come out of the bridging tool, and just a little introduction to VoxEdit. So check this video out. More to come in more details in later videos, but this should at least get you to the point where you could be uploading your Paca and using it in VoxEdit. So thanks. Hello, Paca family. So here we are in VoxEdit. So at this point, you should have connected your wallet, downloaded your 3D Paca, and now you're kind of wondering what can I do with that? So the point of this tutorial is going to be to show you around VoxEdit. It might be a little bit longer than some of the others, only because I want to kind of just do an overview of the tools and how they work and what you can do with them. And from there, then we'll break out into some more specific, like adding animations and things like that. But in the short term, or the initial step, let's just open up that 3D file we downloaded and figure out what we got to do to make it work in the Sandbox. So as you click on Open File, this tends to default to the VoxEdit file. You may need to navigate to your Downloads folder. But once you find where that asset is, you should be able to click on it and see something called a VXR with a picture of your Paca. Now, the VXR file is important. It's actually sort of a combination of three things. The VXM, which are the model files, those are all the individual pieces. So whether that is the head, the neck, the feet, the body, like all the pieces are called VXMs. The VXAs, those are the animation files. So they have, run, walk, idle, attack, die, like all those things are the VXAs, the animations. And then the VXR is the rig or the skeleton. So within VoxEdit, you basically build out a skeleton. You take the pieces of the skeleton, right? You kind of slap them on there. Here's where the head goes. Here's where the neck and the feet and the legs go. And then what do? Here are the animations. Here's how they move within that space. So you always want to make sure you're animating or opening the VXR file. And as we hit open, awesome. Look, you should see the Paca that you downloaded. Now, yours may look very similar to mine, and you're going to be like, well, what the heck? None of these assets along the right-hand side look like the pieces of my Paca. And that's normal. So part of this is the bridging tool that Sandbox has provided has some quirks. And so we're going to want to quickly fix or clean up those quirks. Potentially you're watching this and everything looks correct, and along the side or the right, these things look like these, and there aren't these giant boxes around them. Great, it's been fixed. In the short term, though, I want to make sure we provide that. So, you can fast forward, and we'll provide a link if you need to fast forward to the next section about where to go. But those who open up their Paca and it looks like this, let's just walk through this real quick. So these white boxes around the outside are called collision boxes. And so within GameMaker, if you were to put this file into GameMaker right now, it would work. You could absolutely use it within games and things like that. But what you would notice is people kind of have a big space around your Paca. And you might think, does my Paca smell? Is it not a very nice Paca? Why can't anyone get close? And maybe it's emotionally distant because it had a very rough upbringing. Honestly, though, the issue is that the collision boxes are large. So we need to go through and trim each of those collision boxes. It's a very simple thing. It's just a little tedious. So I'm going to walk you through the first couple, and then we can watch this on fast forward. But as we look along the left-hand side here at the rig or the skeleton, you'll see names of pieces. And so the root is what it sounds like, the root. The controller is on all Sandbox assets. It basically says, where does this asset sit within the space? And so you always want, your feet, maybe not always, but at least for Pacas and for most assets, you want the feet to be touching the floor. And so this shouldn't be something you ever need to mess with. If you wanted your Paca to spawn in and you wanted it always to spawn in up in the air, well, you just move it up in space, and now, every time your Paca spawns in, it's going to be, X amount of distance above the earth. We don't want that. We want a grounded Paca, so we're going to leave this thing as it is. But as we look at the body, you'll see these three dots. And so we could rename these nodes and do all sorts of cool functionality we'll show you in the future. But for today, we just care about this pencil, this edit tool. And so we're going to actually go through and edit each one of these bits that sort of make up the Paca. And like I said, this is the rig or the skeleton. Along the right-hand side, these are the VXM files, or the pieces that make up that Paca. And then along the bottom here, this is the animation. So these are all the things that your Paca does. So, you know, if you were to hit play, and I think that's spacebar for most people, you can see, oh, cool. Like, my Paca has stuff. It does things. It's moving around, right? If you wanted to see what your Paca looked like when it died, yeah, it's roughs, right? So that's your death animation. If you wanted to see, you know, the interact, if you wanted to look at the jump and the run, these are pre-made. Everyone should look the same. They were built to sort of work, and have been optimized for Game Maker. The good news is you can make and adjust these. You can tweak that. But for right now, let's get back to the collision boxes. So click on this pencil here, and you're going to see, holy cow, look at this gigantic space, right? This is the full size of the asset, and obviously we've only got voxels or pieces right in the middle. And so we're going to go through with this. It looks like it says trim volume. It's a cropping tool, and we are going to click that once. And you can see all that extra voxel space has been trimmed. And now this is as tight against the asset as possible. And this means that when someone goes to interact with your asset in Game Maker and they want to jump on the back of it, this is the space of the body that it takes up. And so for each one of these, we're going to hit the back arrow when we're done trimming. It's going to prompt us to save, and we're going to say, you know what? Yeah, save this. I do great work. I trust myself. I know what I'm doing. Click on the neck. Same thing. Trim that volume down so that it's just the size of the neck. Hit back, hit yes. Now I'm going to go through, and you should do the same. Just go right down this order for every single one of them. Click that pencil, trim the volume, and hit yes. And you can see as we do that as well, the preview images of the VXMs are being updated. So I think this is just a product of the Paca that we tested the bridge tool with. For whatever reason, it imports that model, but you'll see once you're finished, this Paca, these icons, everything is going to match. So we're going to put this on fast forward as I go through these, but see you on the other side. Okay, so I'm done, and hopefully you're done too. I'm sure you went just as fast as I did in fast forward. So as we look at this, a quick way to test is put your mouse over each one of these. Those boxes should be really tiny now, not the giant boxes of the past. Just take a look to make sure you didn't miss anybody, and it's usually pretty obvious because the box is huge. So good news, we have not missed anyone. I'm going to go back to the idle here, just to make sure that my Paca looks right. And all of the icons or the previews look the same. So this Paca right now is ready to export into Game Maker and use as an avatar, use as an NPC, use as whatever you want. Another little tip or a trick, if you kind of get lost and you feel like, man, the camera's not listening, I need to recenter, there's a little button right here that says Reset View. Just click that, and it puts you back in a place that I think is pretty helpful. Some people also like to work in orthographic view. Those people are awful, and don't be friends with them, but there are people who like to work that way. So there you go. Your Paca is ready to go. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to make some tweaks or some changes to this Paca, and then upload it into the Game Maker. So hopefully this was helpful. Now that you've got your Paca Game Maker ready, check out the next video, and we'll see you there. Thanks. Oh, and don't forget to save.